Hello and welcome back to Xbox The All-in-One Podcast. I'm your host as always, Matthew, or Matt for short. Unfortunately, nobody is able to join me for today's episode, which is unfortunate. I will talk a little bit more about that later. We won't be changing the podcast. We will be staying as Xbox The All-in-One Podcast. I was kind of floating some ideas around of maybe getting a PlayStation, kind of someone who has a PlayStation as like a co-host, but we will be staying as an Xbox podcast, so if you're worried about that, then don't worry. So yeah, let's jump straight into some talking points and some news this week. Talk about what I've been playing, as it's been the reason we weren't here last week. It was my birthday and I didn't quite have time on the Sunday. But I did see Batman v Superman, and that was cool. So, so what I've been playing, the Mirror's Edge Catalyst closed beta started a couple of days ago. I've been really enjoying it. I don't know if you guys remember recent conversations we've had on here. I've been very much looking forward to Mirror's Edge and Quantum Break. I really enjoyed Quantum Break. We spoke about that 2 weeks ago when David was on the podcast and he played it on PC, of course. I really enjoyed that game a lot. I will talk about my review of that in a little while, because I have a new website, but I'll get to that when we get to that in my notes. But yeah, I finished Quantum Break in like a couple of weeks or something. Very much enjoyed it, hoping for a sequel. Of course, they're going to make a sequel. Hopefully, they build it into quite a big franchise, and have kind of continue the TV integration that they have there. Of course, there's always FIFA there that I've been playing. There's a few podcasts I've been listening to, so I've been kind of listening to podcasts and playing some Halo. Halo's just as good as it ever is. It's just brilliant. The gameplay is flawless. And when I'm kind of playing on my own, I have a ton of fun in free-for-all. So if you are looking to play Halo and you're kind of on your own, or even if you're not, I don't know if you can play with friends invited in free-for-all. I don't know if that's allowed. It might be. I just know from previous games that that might not be allowed, because you could kind of go in the corner and kind of meet up and kill each other, that sort of thing, and rank up. So I don't know if that's allowed. It might be. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it. So Halo's always as good as ever. Very much enjoying that. I haven't played that much else. I started Deus Ex, but because the Mirror's Edge beta only runs for a certain length of time, I've had to put Deus Ex. That's the Mankind Divided, I think. Human Revolution is the other one that's coming out, I think. I may have mixed those two up. But the one that came out on 360, the first one, started playing that. Holds up quite well for a game that's kind of old, which some people feared may be the problem with backwards compatibility, but it's holding up quite well. It's enjoyable. Has some decent gameplay there. So I've put that on hold until the Mirror's Edge Catalyst beta finishes in a few days, because there's quite a bit to do on it. There's like 4 main missions, there's like a good few side missions, there's like delivery missions and stuff like that. It definitely feels the same but newer and fresher. Like there's a few new things in there, and new things with combat as well with Mirror's Edge. Like there's no kind of, like in the first Mirror's Edge, there was like gun, what do you call them, like gunfights. You could kind of disarm someone and use that gun, but you couldn't aim down the sight and things like that, and it wasn't really optimized for like a first-person shooter game. But yeah, in this, some of the enemies have like batons, and you kind of just have a melee fight with them, which is quite a lot more interesting. And sometimes you have to deal with 2 of them. The guys with the guns, you can go up and face them, but it doesn't turn to like where you would be disarming them and then using that gun. You kind of just knock them out, and then kind of run on, because it seems to be with the game that you have like a flow of running. Like you sort of, the more and more you run and keep up the flow of running, like the faster your character gets, and that kind of helps with some of the delivery missions, because they're really like to the second, like you'll get there with 1 or 2 seconds left, but it does make it quite compelling, quite interesting. I'm finding. So yeah, can't wait for that to be released. Unfortunately, it has been delayed 2 weeks, which is unfortunate, but it's out in June the 5th or something like that. I'll have to look up the release date again. But yeah, what I'm probably going to do is finish off a few of the games I have. Obviously, just keep playing Mirror's Edge till the beta closes, because there's still a few things I have to do on it. And then I'll play some Deus Ex. I've also got my codes for Alan Wake and Alan Wake Nightmare because I played Quantum Break. So I'll play those two as well. And then what I'll do at some point in maybe the middle of May, I'll start I don't know if this will be a good idea, but I'll start The Witcher and then kind of put that on a break, play Mirror's Edge when it comes out. That will probably be a shorter game, and then, most of June and then July and August can kind of be where I play The Witcher. So I can kind of go from there, and see where that takes me. So yeah, that should be pretty fun. So yeah, I want to tell you guys about a new website I have. Well, it's not coming out because it's already here. It's called Entertainment Talk, and if you go to Entertainment Talk and then put .org, so .org, but not with the dot, but with .dot org.wordpress.com. That will change to entertainmenttalk.com once that's sorted out, but you can go and check out some articles that have already been written for it. I have 4 other people that are writing for it, and one of them wrote an article on why The Walking Dead is still worth watching, so if you want to check that out, you can do so. My Quantum Break review, as I mentioned earlier, is on there, so go and check that out there as well. There's also a Facebook page and a Facebook group, so just type in Entertainment Talk to Facebook, and so you should find the group there and the Facebook page, so go and check that out, share it, spread the word if you like, and hoping to write some more articles soon for it. I have several reviews and article ideas for it, so we're definitely not short on material right now for it, so yeah, that's definitely pretty good. So go and check that out for like Entertainment Talk reviews, which is fairly self-explanatory, I think, kind of like discussions, reviews, previews, all that good stuff basically, so go and check that out. A Gears of War beta for Gears of War 4 started recently. I'm just going to say that I don't really like Gears of War as a multiplayer game. I respect you if you do, go and play it if you like it. I just think Gears of War is more of a story-driven game. I kind of think the same with Halo, but obviously with Halo 5, the multiplayer was definitely the catch there. I think Microsoft has said that they want to focus more on the multiplayer for Gears of War 4, so I'll see how that works out. I'm just saying I don't like it much as a multiplayer game. It's smooth, it works very well, but I don't know, I kind of see it as more of a just kind of linear story-based thing. So I'm not sure if the beta's finished for that, but there was an open and a closed beta. So if you played Gears of War Ultimate Edition at a particular time, you got a code. That's how I got mine. But I think the open beta might be running now, so go and check the store if you want to participate in that. Next up we have, I don't know if this affects any US listeners, but from the UK, Amazon Prime is unfortunately restricting certain game purchases to Amazon Prime only members, so as like a Prime exclusive. I did see on Google that Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation 4 was one of those, which is quite unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't continue, but I can only imagine that would backfire and that they would kind of revert their change. So we shall see how that goes down. I think that's a terrible idea, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully it just will be a little thing, but that goes back to normal after a while. And next up we have the Overwatch beta is coming on, I think it's the 5th of May. I saw it on my dashboard, an advert for that. I know that I can't remember which game it was called, but it was something very, very similar. Wasn't Overwatch. It was. I'm not sure what it was, but it was quite a similar game that had a beta recently, and I wondered if it was the other one. But yeah, that was quite good as well. The other game. I'll remember the name for next week, but. Yeah, go and participate in the beta. I imagine it would be available to pre-download from the 4th of May, maybe. We'll see how that happens. So that's pretty much it for this week. As I said, I don't have any co-hosts this week, unfortunately. But yeah, if you'd like to, you can go and follow me. I realised for the last couple of weeks I've I've accidentally been giving out the wrong Twitter handle. It's Matty Nemeth 94. So Nemeth is Nemeth. Let me just double check that very, very quickly. But yes, go to if you want to follow me on Twitter. Yes, Matty Nemeth 94. I've been saying Matty Nemeth 1994. I've been getting myself confused with my old Twitter, so apologies for that. Go and check that out. The link to the WordPress Entertainment Talk website is on there, so if you are struggling to type it in or something, because it's quite complicated to type in, and I've actually typed it in wrong a couple of times myself. The Twitter for that as well is on my Twitter page. It's in my bio, and then the Entertainment Talk WordPress is in there as well. So go and check that out as well. So yeah, Matty Nemeth 94. Nemeth again is Nemeth. So go and follow me on Twitter. So I'm pretty much going to be just focusing on writing articles. This podcast is also going to be on that YouTube channel, the Entertainment Talk YouTube channel. I'll write an article with a link to this week's episode, so you can just click the link, enjoy the episode. It's also on iTunes, so if you're listening to this on iTunes, please subscribe to us and follow us on SoundCloud. Rate and review us as always. If you have something nice to say, then please put 5 stars. If you think we can improve with something, let us know so that we can improve with whatever that thing is. Give us 4 stars if you think we can do better, and then tell us how, or tell us why we're doing a bad job. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. A fairly short episode, considering it is just me. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone, and hopefully we'll be back with at least Michael next week. So yeah, thanks for everyone for listening, and we shall see you next week. Enjoy Game of Thrones and Fear the Walking Dead, whichever you prefer to watch, because they're on the same time. Because it's Sunday 9 o'clock HBO, and then Sunday 9 o'clock AMC, Fear the Walking Dead. And then it's the exact same for UK, which is silly that AMC have decided to put Fear the Walking Dead on the same time as Game of Thrones. Kind of silly, I think. But anyway, that's off topic. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.